And is Flagstaff as nice as Tucson? They're totally different. Maybe I'll go back to the coast and go be a beach bum. And then we have babies. Flagstaff is nice as Tucson. Flagstaff is different. We were going to go to Los Angeles, and I'd never been there before. Hey y'all, I'm going to answer a question here. It says, it's from Little Birdie Spring. Hi Birdie. Hi little birdie. Spring is coming. It'll be around the corner. Okay. It says, hi Lee, I'm a newer viewer and I'm enjoying your channel. Thank you so much. I'm glad you discovered me. I have a few questions. You mentioned Tucson will get too hot and you will go to Flagstaff. Maybe this year. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go this summer. It could be someplace totally different. The last couple of years I've been in Flagstaff in the summer. That could change. If something else crops up, yeah, I will go there. And you'll go to Flagstaff. Is Flagstaff as nice as Tucson? Flagstaff is different. That's all I can say. There are good points about Flagstaff and there's really great points about Tucson. I know Tucson very well, so I'm very comfortable here. I've lived in Tucson previously 40 years, not 4. One time I said 40 years and they said, oh, 4 years, you're not. No, 40 years. I raised all my children here. They were born here and I raised them here. I'm originally from Ohio. Okay, I came to Tucson, way back in my early 20s or mid-20s, early 20s. Okay, so I love Tucson. I mean, my husband and I, we were going to go to Los Angeles. I have a sister there. And we were going to go to Los Angeles and, I'd never been there before. Well, we got there and we only stayed about 4 months. It was pretty much, we were going to get stuck there, trying to find enough work and just dealing with it all. Yeah, we almost got kind of stuck there. So we hightailed it. We came through Tucson. We hightailed it. We said, we like Tucson. We just like it. And we settled here. And then we had babies. Yeah, we had babies here. So I lived in Tucson for 40 years. And then I became a nomad. I became a van dweller, okay? Well, and I will mention when my youngest one was very, very small. He was only like 2. My husband was in a severe fatal car accident. And so I was a single parent for all that time. And we just were very close family because of that. So it's a little bit of my background. So there you go. Thank you for asking. Whoops, I just turned my phone off. Come on, open up. There we go. Now, we're in a valley. Tucson is in a valley and it's surrounded by mountains. There's like 5 or 6 mountain ranges. I only thought there were like major 4, but I have thus found out that there's like 6. The most beautiful are the Catalina Mountains. Those are up in the foothills, where a lot of the uber rich live. And actually Tucson has a lot of famous people that still live here and some that I'm not sure if they're still here. But I do know that Oprah Winfrey has a ranch and it's way out and she has a ranch here. And Paul and Linda McCartney had a ranch near Tucson. Tucson is just it's a wonderful place. It's not like Phoenix at all. There are really only 3 major cities in Arizona because a lot of it is mountains and desert. So, but then you've got Sierra Vista, you got the smaller ones, you got Casa Grande and Sierra Vista and Sedona and places like that, but they're small. So Tucson is down, it's 100 miles from the border, Mexican border, and below that is Nogales, Arizona. And I know that in Yuma, a lot of people go to Aldeganas, I'm not saying it right, Artiganas. Sorry, I can't think of the name of it because I really have not crossed the border in Yuma. But in Arizona, in Tucson, you can go down to Nogales. It's 100 miles from the border, and a lot of people can go down and get their teeth worked on down in Nogales. And I actually did that probably about 9 years ago. I had a lot of teeth work done in Nogales. So I'm very familiar with Nogales. And when my children were younger, we used to go down there. Nogales has really changed. I was really shocked when I started getting some of my teeth work done down there because, my goodness, it really was falling apart. But it used to be a hopping place down in Nogales. So you've got, in Arizona, you've got Tucson. About 2 hours away, you've got Phoenix. That's the capital. And then above, you have Flagstaff. So you got 3 Flagstaff, Phoenix, and Tucson. Those are 3 major cities. They're cities. But Flagstaff is like a whole nother deal because we're dealing with 7 to 750,000 elevation. Okay, so there you go. I think I said that right. 7,500 feet elevation in Flagstaff. So you're dealing with a whole nother climate, which is pretty darn cool. In Arizona, you can go 4 hours and find a whole different climate. That's why a lot of nomads, if they hang out in Tucson or Quartzsite or Yuma, a lot of them hang out in Yuma. I'm not a huge fan of Yuma. I've lived here a long time, and to me, it doesn't have the best reputation. So sorry Yuma people. You know, I've been there and I go there every once in a while. When I was in Quartzsite, it's only an hour from Quartzsite, but I'm not much of a Yuma person, okay? But in Flagstaff, you're dealing with ponderosa pines. You're dealing with such a higher elevation that it's a whole different climate and there's no saguaro cactus growing in Flagstaff. You know, if there are, they're kind of like supplanted there, right? But I enjoy Tucson, and I've lived here 40 years. And I still have children and grandchildren that live here. So I'm very partial. It's a very beautiful. I love what the difference between Phoenix and Tucson is everything. We're quite the rivals, you know, like ASU, you know, Arizona State University, and U of A, the University of Arizona. Ooh, you know, and to me, I've always heard Phoenix described it. It's like LA without the beach, right? It's huge. And I don't know. I drive through Phoenix and everything, and I stop there, and a lot of times I spend the night there when I'm going up. If I don't feel like driving the 4 hours to get to Flagstaff, I will stop and I will sleep for the night and then drive up. But not a huge fan of Phoenix. It's just so big. And they're always, the last 2 years, they've been working on I-10, the highway. And I tell you, sometimes it can be like snail's pace trying to get through Phoenix, through I-10. But Tucson has always been kind of just, for me, Tucson is still kind of like the Wild West. It still has that feel. It's more hometowny feel, even as big as it's gotten. Tucson is growing. It is growing. And you have these little sub areas. You got Marana, you got Oro Valley, you've got Vail, which are on the outskirts of it. But I really love Tucson. I really do. And I probably, one reason is because I know it and I raised all my children here. Okay, then you say, is Flagstaff is nice? Like, my answer for that is it's different. It's different. Being in Flagstaff is like being a hobbit in a forest. It's just forest. And they don't have everything totally landscaped the way that Tucson does. You know, a lot of things are just growing wild along the road and everything. They've kind of kept Flagstaff sort of in a way like it's a forest. And the people are different. They just are. It snows a lot in the winter. I mean, it gets cold. The day I left last season was I was trying to get gas in my car. I stayed like 2 days too long. And it was really bad. I'm like, I can't wait to get out of here. But once you go down the elevation within an hour, like when you get to Camp Verde and you're going south and you get down the hill, it's warm again. It's almost hot. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and then you say, do you go there just because of the weather? Yes. Yes, I do. If Tucson was beautiful weather all year round, I would probably stay here and in this area here because of my children, because I know it, because I know exactly where to go. And there's so much available here in Tucson. And then you say, you mentioned that your parents were snowbirds with their RV. Do they still travel, and do they have a favorite spot? Well, let me just say, I'm 70 years old. I was the youngest in the family. They're passed away. Yeah. In fact, my dad passed 2, 3, 4 years ago, and he was 94 when he passed. So yeah. No, and my mother passed earlier. So they're well gone. God bless them. And no, they always went back and forth when they went back, because we were brought up in Ohio. When they went back to Ohio, they kind of parked with my older sister, and they parked around that. And then, but when they came here, they spent time in Texas. They spent time in Tucson and Casa Grande, and yeah, they. Somebody was being very rude. I don't know why he stopped to look and then say something rude. Oh, well. Oh, well. That was kind of strange. Okay, yeah. If that question was too personal, no, don't worry about that, no. My last question, could you show clips of your park walks? Well, I did a little bit of walking, and I'll show it. I don't show really fantastic things. One reason was because where I usually park when I walk, I got that spidey sense in the back of my neck. Yeah, the spidey sense. So I moved. And I moved by a fella that I met. He wasn't here at that time either. So I just kind of walked around. I don't want to go too far. If I get a feeling like somebody's watching and they see me go take off on a walk, I want to make sure that, there's no break-ins. I do believe with the way the economy is, I do believe that there are probably a little bit more break-ins than going on than maybe in the past few years. Okay. Next, you say, where I live, it is quite cloudy and gloomy. Yeah. You don't have to name the park, which I understand for safety reasons. Yes. Thank you. Your headache could be unrelated to this, but maybe not enough drinking water. I agree. That might have been why. Or maybe not enough electrolytes. Yes. Or the changing weather. Take care. Yes. Thank you so much, Little Bird Spring. Thank you for that question. Yeah, Tucson is, what's funny is that nomads really don't come here. A few, but they're few and far between. And I mean, they're here, but not like in Yuma. They love Yuma. They love Quartzsite. A lot of them spend the whole winter in Quartzsite. They get the LTVAs, which is long-term visitor areas, and they pay $180 for that. And they can stay up until, I believe, March or April. And then it starts again. They can go back around like August and pay another $180. The reason I don't like doing that is reasons. One, it's been beaten down so bad, it's just dust. When you drive there, it's just dust. When you step out of my van, it's just dust. It's just a dusty ground. It's been beaten down too much. In the LTVAs. Another reason, because I'm in a minivan, if you're in a minivan, you have to park within 500 feet of the outhouse, the toilet thing. And everybody's trying to get around it if you're in a minivan. And that's not my cup of tea. But there are other areas you can stay longer. I hate to say that, but maybe soon they'll start really checking more. But over the past years, they haven't really checked. And another reason I'm not really crazy about it is there's no shade. You're just out in the sun. Here, I'm at the park right now. I've got a tree right beside me. Let me turn this around. I've got a tree. Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm a little bit under a tree. I've got some sun. I've got some power going into my jackery because it's getting a little bit. It's trickling in. And I got the mountain view over here. And I've got nature. But I have amenities available. If I don't want to use my pee bottle, I've got a bathroom over there. I love living at the parks during the day. I really do. I love that. And I think this is my type of lifestyle. Tucson might be a big city, but there are areas where, and even downtown's pretty cool. I've shown you downtown. It's pretty darn cool down there if you want to spend time downtown. The traffic isn't that bad. I mean, I suppose when everybody starts getting off work around 5, it can get a little bad, but I kind of stay in certain areas, and Tucson still has a small town feel. It's like the Old West. It's still got a little bit of the Old West to it. So I really enjoy it here, and a lot of my friends, my nomad friends, they don't come here. They hang out in Yuma and in Quartzsite. But in the summer, a lot of them I see in Flagstaff. I don't know where I'm going to go this year. There's no guarantee that I'm going to be in Flagstaff. I just really don't know where I'm going to go. Maybe I'll go back to the coast and go be a beach bum for the summer. I really don't know. Well, I really appreciate you watching this and watching some of the footage I have all around. I love you guys, and I'm so glad that you ask me questions. If you have a question, I'll give you a shout out, and I'll feature you. Okay, so I need some questions. Okay, because that's way I can gauge what you want to know about. I've been a nomad for 7 years now. And my the Minivan Lee show has been going on for 4 of them. So I'm no expert on things. Sometimes I get things wrong. Sometimes I get to talking and I actually just said it wrong. I knew the right thing, but I just said it wrong, because I'm going like this. But I really appreciate y'all watching me and being loyal followers of me. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I really do. Darling. Okay? My darlings. I love you guys. I'm kidding. Yeah, right now I'm going to show you what I'm looking at over here. Yeah, there's the Catalina Mountains are over there. I assume you can maybe see them. Yeah. We'll see when I edit this if that's what you were looking at, okay? Okay? I love you guys. Mwah, mwah. Okay, till tomorrow. Good things are coming our way, aren't they? Yay!